Giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Good morning, good people. Happy Wednesday, August 3rd, 2022. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live. Presented by the Cochran Firm in Underdog Fantasy. I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele. Boom! Final show of the week before I head to the Dallas Cowboys training camp in Oxnard to give y'all my takes on what we see down there. But today we got to talk about the Cowboys plan at the wide receiver position. They laid it out. So now let's discuss who got next. I rocked the Vader shirt, but I should have got a Goldberg shirt. You know how he has a whole who's next. We'll talk about that. Or rather, who do you think is next to step up for these young guys? We also got some injury news we'll get to in the roundup. And we got to talk about this kicker situation. I mean, it's a situation now. You know, it's only 1 week, so we'll give it another week. Y'all know me. I don't got the patience to be waiting too long, right? I don't got the patience to be waiting too long on certain things. We need to ramp everything up. We need to have a sense of urgency. I'm just saying, hold tight. We'll talk about all that. Plus, we'll get to the practice notes later on, all right? But shout out to the Bomb Squad.
Bomb Squad!
Appreciate y'all for being up in here, Bomb Squad. Let's get some shout out to the building. Jim Koger, TC915, Sadiqa Charles. What's up, Sadiqa? Swain, Ron. Appreciate you calling in yesterday. Lamitra, Zeus C, Brian Bradford, Toxic Tom, Downey Burner Count. What plan? Oh, there's a plan, Tom. There's always a plan in Dallas. It's just a matter of, does that plan work or make sense? D.A. Lee, Peasy, Swain, Lee Chambers. What's good, Lee? You said you were a little off with the boom roll. Damn. I don't like being off on the damn boom. I know me. I'm real peculiar with that. So I'll fix that for you, bro. A Hatch in the building, Stephen White, Lawrence Moore, Danny Savage. Danny, I saw you earlier in the chat, man. You said you hate mornings. I get it now. I get it. When you call in, I understand. You don't like mornings, Danny. So we're going to have to work through that, Danny. I got you, brother. I got you. Gregory C. Burleson. Who else we got up in here? Bill Pugh over on Facebook. Mark Felix. Cush Break. Can't go wrong with that. CJ Richards. Big Flock 91. Marquin Greer. Adrian Perdilla was good. Who else is up in here? All right. Special K. What's good, Special K? Mackenzie. Two times. What's up? And the many more, man. I see some new people up in here. I can't pronounce that name. My apologies. Matt Goddix, what's up? Yeah, man. Always like to give y'all a shout out early in the morning because, like I said, man, y'all the Bomb Squad, and I love y'all being here this early. Now, I am still working through how the hell I'm going to do this next week. What is it? Who's over there? Mel, where you at, Mel? Marv, where you at? What's this, 6:30 over there? If I do a show at 8:30 Central, woo! I'm debating. I don't know. I got to rap to a couple people to see if we're going to do this 8:30 in Pacific time or we're going to do it 8:30 Central time because, listen, you know, I don't mind getting up early, but damn it, 6:30, that's early. That's early. So we'll talk through it. I will try to have, official updates. Make sure you guys are plugged in. Make sure you guys are locked. You're subscribing and you got the notification bell clicked. I don't post in the community as much, but I promise I'm going to start doing that more often. But keep an eye out on the community. I'll have a date and time. I'll have a time frame for when I'm going to do the shows down there in Oxnard. But 6:30, dog. 6:30 is rough. I think I'm be able to do it. We'll see. I promise y'all I'll let y'all know, though. All right? With that said, as my guy Vader would say, let's hit this roundup. It's time.
It's time! It's time! It's time!
It's time. It's time.
It is time for
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Oh, let's do it. Hey, do we have a kicker problem? It's early. Everything's early. I get it. I'm not. But man, we got a kicker update yesterday, and I think since the Cowboys and Coach McCarthy are going to start off practices with kicking and whatnot, we'll be able to follow their stats, follow how well they are doing. And yesterday, Jonathan Garibay and Lirim Hallelujah didn't have a good day. You know, it was Lirim was ahead. Garibay was catching them a bit. Then yesterday they both just had terrible days. Garibay went 6 for 11 and 0 and 3 in mojo moments. Lirim went 4 for 11 and 1 and 3 in mojo moments. If I'm looking for an excuse, it was a bit windy yesterday, and Coach was talking about all that. But it ain't like Garibay was killing it anyway. Now, Lirim, that shocked me because he had a couple days where he was looking good, and all of a sudden he's missing 7 kicks. So Coach McCarthy talked about how they don't really know these guys, so they're trying to give them a shot to see what they have. Much like when we get to the end of this roundup here, cool. Let's see. Let's not wait too long, though, if it ain't looking good. Because we know how important kicker is. So we'll continue to keep y'all updated. But 6 for 11 and 4 for 11 is not good. And 1 for 6 in mojo moments, it's not good. Do we have a kicker problem? I know that's a loaded and just tough question right now early. But let me look into the chat. No, we do not, says Sadiqa. What's up with Kai Forbath? I still don't understand what happened with Kai. Stephen White, kicker is our biggest need. Danny said, nah, we got an owner problem. Well, Danny, that's a whole different. What's up, Joe? Vox gonna have to push his own buttons. That's funny. Nah, we'll still do shows later. No, anybody? So that, no one really thinks it's a timing thing. Conley says yes. I bet Dicker the kicker is knocking them through. I don't know. I don't really go around the league on everybody else's kicker right now, but I'm keeping my eye on this one. We did get some injury updates that I didn't really see reported until Coach McCarthy came out in the presser afterwards to kind of let everybody know. So Jabril Cox dinged up his knee on Monday, and he didn't practice Tuesday. And he won't participate in the mock game today. Kind of wish I was down there for the day, but I'll be at the Saturday mock game. But Coach said he'll be back out there on Thursday, and they're just taking precaution with Jabril Cox. Now, I'm not looking at this as anything crazy. He said it's not a big deal. It's fine. He just dinged up his knee. I'd imagine maybe he ran into something. He fell on it wrong. But if he's saying it's not a big deal, I'm going to look at it that way. But I don't like hearing that Jabril has to sit a couple practices because of his knee. But we'll see where he's at on Thursday, and we'll move forward from there. Just much like Matt Waletzko. We didn't know the extent of Matt Waletzko. We just knew he wasn't going to practice for a few days. Then it came out earlier this week that, hey, man, he might not be back for a minute. Also, Jake Ferguson, tight end position, is took a little bit of a hit yesterday. Jake Ferguson tweaked his hamstring at the beginning of practice. And let me get to this real quick. We got somebody. My apologies, y'all. Jake Ferguson tweaked his hamstring at the beginning of practice yesterday, and the veteran tight end Jeremy Sprinkle did not participate with a sore Achilles. So now you're looking at Peyton Hendershot. You're looking at Sean McEwen, who I think is the number 2 tight end right now. Sean McEwen, and missing one more person. I'm pretty sure I'm missing somebody else here. But you're looking at those guys as your 1, 2, and 3 with 2 and 3 with Dalton Schultz. So again, they said this is nothing to be worried about. Neither of it is serious, but it's worth monitoring moving forward. We need Jake to get all those. We don't want Jake to fall into the Sean McEwen situation as a rookie, right? Or as a second-year player where he was showing some things and Jake was showing up. Jake is showing up at training camp. He is showing up. And we don't want him getting knocked out of that possibility of playing some ball this year. I think Dallas wants to get a look at Jake Ferguson because of Dalton Schultz contract situation, which let me tell y'all something. Dalton Schultz about to catch about 150 balls. They're going to franchise tag him. Flat out. Listen, Jeremy Sprinkle, I hope you get well. I hope your Achilles is fine. But I don't anticipate you being on this team. I truly do hope you are fine, though, from an injury standpoint. But I'm hoping that Peyton Hendershot or one of these other young – Ian Bunting was the other guy. One of these other young tight ends are able to kick him off the roster because they're just beating him, right? And there's a couple young guys we're going to talk about that I think are putting pressure on these coaches to make a decision on some of these down roster veterans. A couple of them come from the receiver position, but it ain't too many veterans in that room, so it ain't really the receiver position. But Jerry came out yesterday, Cowboys Nation, and pretty much echoed what Stephen Jones had to say about camp in general, right? But Jerry was more so specifically talking about the receiver position. They asked Jerry, hey, man, James Washington went down. Are you guys looking to attack the wide receiver position? Is there any urgency there? He said, no, not at all. Let's get these guys incentive. Speaking on these young receivers, there's no urgency looking for a veteran wide receiver. It's funny because I saw somebody on Twitter say no urgency should be put on a T-shirt for the franchise in general. True. I mean, the franchise, those guys don't have urgency. I don't like to hear the term no urgency. I mean, it is what it is at the wide receiver position. However, since we know this is their plan, this isn't a surprise, right? Like at some point, I do feel like they will bring in someone, but it's a little bit slower than I would like. I would like for them to, we're going to make some calls, see who might be available, see who's interested, things like that. But they did come out in camp and say, I don't look at any of these positions as question marks. I look at them as opportunity. So now the pressure turns to some of these talented but young wide receivers, which leads to the question, who got next in line to take advantage of these opportunities? We now have, Toxic, a plan. I use quotes, air quotes there for those who are listening. That's the plan. We may not like the plan, but that's the plan. The plan is to hold off, wait and see. And I put on Twitter, okay, but let's not wait too long. Let's not wait too long. And here's why. And I'll bring this back up later. You will hear Dak in our first word bring up communication. Folks, we saw communication issues with veteran receivers last year. We saw communication issues with CeeDee Lamb last year. So if things are a little bit weird as we get to practice, and here's the thing. You want to hear these guys having a good camp. I really want to see him in Denver against the Broncos in the ramp up practice. I want to see them in LA with the Chargers in the ramp up practice. And then we get to preseason. I'm not saying wait till then, but that is the true test of these young guys, because now you're not going up against the defense that you may know what's coming and think guys you've been practicing with forever, which, by the way, not a great day for the offense in general yesterday, but that's neither here nor there. There are a line of talented wide receivers, young, albeit, that now have an opportunity to step up. So who got next? We're going to talk about a few of those. But we got a couple super chats, and then we got the phone lines I want to get to. So let me get to a super chat. Appreciate you, Tom.
Super chat.
He says, Sky, it is cheaper to just not field a team. That's deep, bro. That's deep. There was one more up here. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. Hey, Ron.
Super chat.
He said you can edit to look for a vet wide receiver off that title. I see what you're saying. Ha Lee says on Facebook, is the offense that bad or is the D that good? Remember, we talked about the defense is going to be ahead of the offense, especially with all these young receivers, with the line shift going on. The defense is coming in year two with really the same players, and I think in totality, maybe better players overall. I don't even think it's a maybe. I think overall they probably have better players from top to bottom. So I think you got to wait. I feel like I got to wait to get a gauge on the offense to when they play against Denver, when they go up against the Chargers, and then when we get to preseason. But mostly those practices. What I'm looking at more so is individually, Lee. Not my bro, Lee. Hi, Lee. I'm looking at individually. How is Tyler Smith looking? How is Tolbert looking? How is Turpin looking? Houston, right? Feoko. We're looking at receivers now. How are these individuals looking? And then let's put it all together when we go out against a team that doesn't give a damn about you on the other side. Practice or not, they don't care. So, unfortunately, it's kind of still it's a patient game with the offense. And it may be a patient game well into the season, right? Like we talked about having maybe to lean on the defense because this offense is probably going to take some time. You hope they stay healthy because you can't keep having these players removed from a certain room, specifically wide receiver, whether you like these young bucks or not. It is what it is. There's no experience there. I put on Twitter, hey, it's all fine and dandy for an inexperienced room, specifically wide receiver room, if you're a rebuilding team. If you're a bad team, if you're a young team that's, hey, we're just trying to be competitive. I don't know how many inexperienced wide receiver rooms you want if you're trying to win a Super Bowl. I'm going to leave it at that. And what we're going to do here is we're going to get a couple phone calls in, and then we'll come back out and we'll talk about who we think has next. As you guys now know, our Pulse of the Nation phone line is powered by the Cochran Firm, which has been the nation's premier personal injury, truck accident, and medical malpractice law firms in the country. Their attorneys handle the most challenging civil cases that are handled on a contingent fee basis. That means their fee is solely based on the percentage of the money they recover for you. The initial consultation is free. If there is no financial recovery, then we charge no fee. With 42 offices across the United States and over $30 billion recovered for their clients, there is no firm better fit to handle your legal needs. Stop by the Cochran Firm office in Dallas or Fort Worth or schedule your free consultation today at cochranfirm.com. I got a joke I want to say about it. It's so bad, and but I ain't trying to get canceled, man. Let's hit up James from Cali. What's good, James?
Hey, what's going, man? It's been a minute since I called you. So, good morning. Let's start out by good morning to you, sir. How you doing?
Good morning, sir. I appreciate you calling. It's like 6:30 over there, ain't it?
Actually, right now I'm in visiting some friends. I'm in Minnesota, so I'm actually on the same time zone you're in at the moment.
There we go.
But yeah, I have a question and then a comment. And my question is, before the James Washington injury, do you think? Because I'm a big fan of Asher. I think he's really good. I think there's a lot of upside to him. I think he's tall. He's got good hops. He can go up and get the ball. But my question is, do you think before James Washington got hurt, do you think he was going to make the team, or now that Washington is out, do you think Vasher controls his own destiny to make the team if he keeps playing the way he's playing?
I think the latter, but forget the first part. Even with Washington, I think it's his own destiny to make the team, because we talked about the roster is just not deep behind what was those top 3 guys, right? And we could throw in Noah.
Yes, sir.
Let's just say top 4 because Noah wasn't going nowhere. We just heard yesterday.
He's good in Noah to me is one of those cats. He's good in preseason and then disappears in the regular season.
Yeah, he's not going nowhere. So you had the 4 guys, right? You had CeeDee Lamb, Noah Brown, James, and Tolbert. After that, there's no really strong guarantee of anyone going into camp. So Vasher had every opportunity to make this team, especially with the strong OTA performance. And we're going to talk about him a little bit more in the next segment, but he controls his own destiny. In fact, bro, every single last receiver outside of Tolbert and Lamb, because those 2 guys are guaranteed, no doubt. All those guys.
Those are sure going to be 1 and 2.
No doubt. All those guys control their own destiny at this point because your owner just said it. Hey, here's your shot, man. Here's your shot to not only make the team, but at this point, have a role in the offense because they're not bringing in a veteran wide receiver right now.
Right. And then here's my comment, and I got to say this. I know I saw you and Vach yesterday, and see, I'm an ex-offensive right guard from high school, and I got to say it, man. I know you guys talked about it yesterday, but we got to make a show to where a lot of us, and I'll be the first to admit I'm one of them. I wasn't real big on the Tyler Smith pick. But, bro, oh, my God, was I happy yesterday with what I saw. That dude put Tristan Hill on his back, and that can't be hard. That can't be easy to do. Tristan's a big boy.
He is.
And I loved what I saw. I was happy. I called one of my friends because we both weren't real big on the pick. But I'll tell you what. I'll be the first. I probably am the first one. I'm going to step up right now and apologize to Tyler Smith. That bro looks legit to me. I don't want him at tackle. I want him right there at guard. That's what we need. I think right now, in my opinion, Sky, he is a definite step up over Connor Williams. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I think 100% he will be an improvement as a run blocker. I don't even think it's going to be particularly close. Because he's a road grader with the athleticism to get to the second level, and we got to see what his IQ is like inside. It's different when you're out there on an island, but we got to see.
But it was definitely nice to look at that, though, and see that, though. That's what I think we've lacked that for a while at left guard.
Since Leary. We haven't had that kind of power since Ron Leary, that kind of nastiness since Ron Leary. It's a very, I dubbed this, and I haven't said it in a long time, y'all. But I dubbed this draft class the attitude era, right? And I think it started with him. It's a very strong possibility that Tyler Smith starts changing the attitude moving forward with the Cowboys offensive line. It may not happen year 1, right? It may happen next year if Tyron Smith, did I say Tyler? If Tron, right, gets hurt again, they decide to cut him and they want to move him outside.
And that's almost a gimme. He's going to get hurt at least once a year, if not twice. We know that.
Yeah. But regardless what they decide to do with Tyler, I wonder if they go into the next year's draft with the mindset of, okay, we want to continue to build on top of this, which is kind of that mean, nasty streak power football as opposed to more of, I hate to use the term finesse, but let's just be real.
Right.
The line wasn't a power line over the last couple of years. Let's just be honest.
No, it wasn't. Yeah. It was an excuse me, just get by offensive line.
And which is crazy because it's okay to have a zone blocking. It was more designed to be a zone blocking line. But how often did you see them doing like true zone things? I didn't see much of it.
Okay, but answer me this though, Sky, is saying that to say this though. How many times did you see what you just said in this offensive line that we had last year get beat by defensive lines that were a little more athletic and a little more nasty?
Definitely the latter. They were definitely, there was too many times after a lot of the losses, there was a reoccurring theme. If you go listen to the coaches, you go listen to the players, you go listen to Zach Martin, it was, hey, man, they out-physicaled us.
Right, exactly.
They out-physicaled us. So.
And like they say, games are won in the trenches. You got to out-physical your defense.
Say that again, my bad.
But hey, the only other thing I'm going to say, man, when you do get out there to California, enjoy it. It's going to be hot, and I don't know how many times you've been out there. I'm thinking about going out there, so who knows? Maybe I see you and I can come up and shake your hand.
Hey, I'll be there, brother. Get with me.
All right, my man. Take care. Love your show.
Thanks, man. Shout out to my guy Twan in the building. He said,
Super chat.
With the super chat, he said, I was high on Tyler Smith. Dude showed the raw talent. Absolutely had the raw talent. No doubt about it. I can't speak for anyone else. Y'all, if y'all watch the draft show, y'all know my reaction to the draft show, and then my follow-up to it was, damn, I wanted XYZ player. All right, now that that's settled down, let's look at what Tyler Smith brings and the pros and the cons. If you looked at him, there were things there to like at the guard position. And physicality was number one, the nasty streak, all those things were right up there. The cons were slightly mitigated moving inside, and were things you can coach. It was just going to be a matter of how fast can you pick him up, and it seems like he's picking him up pretty well. But I think he's going to help change his attitude, man. Straight up. Well, Danny, that's true too. Danny says the attitude starts from the top down. Sure. Y'all know how I am. Listen, I every day we could do the show to shit on the front office. We know about that, but now it's about these players overcoming those certain things. So, yeah, Professor O, Oxnard is like 72 degrees. Let me tell you, I've been talking about this with Michelle for weeks. The packing has been really weird. Bring a hoodie, because at night I get pants, shorts. It's so strange of packing for Oxnard. And if you're in Texas, y'all know it's been 111 degrees every damn day. So I'm not complaining about that weather at all. That is beautiful. That's perfect weather. 60 something, 70 something. I'm from the East Coast. When it get to 60s, when it get to the 50s, I almost pack my damn Timbs. But they might look at me crazy out there on the way. You got Timbs on, bro? I almost packed, but I ain't gonna pack my Timbs. But I love hoodie weather, man. So I'm excited to get out there to Oxnard. Let's get to James, and then we're gonna attack who we think got next, and then we'll get back to the phone lines. What's good, James?
Hey, what's up, Sky? What's up, Sky? How you doing, bro?
What's up, man? I'm good. Just ready to keep rocking this show and get out to Oxnard.
Yep. I got I guess a suggestion. We know that Tyron probably gonna miss a few games this year, so I brought this up on Boss Cowboy Sports show. What you think about this? I'm with the caller, the previous caller you had about leaving young boy at left guard.
Yeah.
So what do you think about this? If we run into Tyron getting hurt, move Steele to left tackle, keep the young boy at the left guard, keep the center, put McGovern at right guard, and put Zach at right tackle.
Whoa!
I think with
James.
that, hold on, listen to me. I think with that lineup, I think that would be the best run pass option as far as the line is concerned that we will have.
I'm trying to pull up a picture to show you exactly what you just described, bro.
Yeah, I know. I know what I'm looking at.
So how can I put this here? On Madden, sure. All right, I ain't got to worry about continuity. I ain't got to worry about all these things. But that's a lot. So let me get this straight. The first part, I was with you in the first half. Cool. Definitely looking at moving Terrence Steele to left tackle if Josh Ball is not the answer at swing tackle. We got a few more weeks to figure that out. So then you want to move Josh Ball. I'm sorry, you want to move Terrence Steele to left tackle, Zach Martin to right tackle, McGovern to right guard. So because of one injury, you've now changed three positions.
Yeah.
On a line on the line that really needs to have that cohesion.
If you remember, McGovern is a natural right guard anyway. So I don't think it would be bad. I don't think it would be anything for him to go back to right guard. Left guard is what he's trying to learn.
Yeah, but what
Zach has played tackle. I mean, he can play it in an emergency.
But that's not an emergency situation. Is what I'm getting at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you trust Ball, because I don't.
No, I don't mind you moving Terrence Steele to left tackle. Just put Ball at right tackle. You're only
wow.
What do you mean? Wow.
Well, let me ask you this.
What do you mean? Right tackle is and I'm not saying I trust Ball, but if all we got is Ball to roll with, all you got was Ball to roll with, you put him on the side that's not the blind side of the quarterback. That can see things coming at him from the right side. Dude, Terrence Steele was a travesty in 2020, right? As a rookie right tackle. And it definitely hurt the team. I don't know that Ball is going to be that bad. So if he can just be a little bit better than Terrence Steele in 2020, Dak can see the pressure coming, right? You can help out Ball on that side, et cetera, et cetera. James, still want to go get me a veteran tackle if Josh Ball is not looking like a secure option. That way you can forget all this moving around.
Okay, which is my next suggestion. And I know you probably gonna shoot this one down because of his age. But what about Jason Peters?
He ain't retired?
You don't like that, huh?
Ain't like 40?
No, yeah, he's 40. Yep. Yep. Hey,
I like other options. Slim. I like other options. Eric Fisher. Riley Reeve got picked up, which sucks. This is the problem, brothers. When you wait, and sisters, when you wait, you know, these guys get. Dennis Kelly was right there. He was right there early in the offseason. So they getting slim. Yeah. And we still need a linebacker, and now we need a receiver. If you think we're gonna be successful with those receivers that we got right now, and Gallup, and if you think that Gallup is gonna be back in October, don't bet on it, man. The dude had surgery in February on an ACL, and you really think he's gonna be back and ready to go in October? And now they're trying to push the narrative about Damon, Damon Clark, Jerry talking this trash about he's gonna be. I think we're gonna see him, soon. That's me nervous.
You see how they do? You see how they do this shit, man? How they put this shit out there in the atmosphere, and they expect for you to latch on to it. That right there is crazy. And if I was him, it would be no way in hell I would even try to see the field, until at least the end of the year, at least.
Yeah. He was saying, for those who don't know, Jerry was saying we're going to see him back much sooner than you think. I'm praying like hell they put him on, and PUP's not even long, but they put him on PUP and they at least give him to the bye week. That gives the Cowboys 10 weeks for him to additional rest and get himself together. But I am in no hurry to see Damone Clark in year one. Because that's a serious surgery. So I'm in no hurry, y'all. I'd rather him just kind of redshirt this year if need be. But if he is 100% and he's ready to go by the end of the year, get him in there, get him a few games. But, oof.
Man, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. But I just wanted to throw that at you. I don't know, man. We just.
No, I'm laughing at the chat.
Things are just crazy right now. We just trying to figure out something, I guess.
That's what we do here. We try to figure it out. I tell you all the time, we're trying to figure this thing out, man. But appreciate you, James. Yeah. In fact, let's get to this part and see what wide receivers we got that we think might step up, man. Appreciate you.
Yep, I appreciate you.
Yeah, I didn't really touch on that Damone Clark thing, but that was brought up. How y'all feel about that? Are we? Part of me is like, oh man, that's awesome, Damone Clark. Get to see him play. Other part of me is like, bro, that's a serious surgery that I'd much rather them kind of just let him completely heal up, go all the way through at least December, right, or at least after Thanksgiving. I think that's around the bye week is week 10ish, something like that, right before we get to Green Bay. But Jerry is saying, I think you guys are going to be surprised. We're going to see him much sooner. Okay. All right. Let's talk about a few players at the wide receiver position that may be a surprise addition to this team. Like I said earlier in the show, and when the caller asked me, what do you think TJ Vasher can make the team now? Well, all these dudes have every opportunity to make this team. All of them. So with Washington out, and the plan pretty much laid. Question now becomes who got next. And we can go down this list, and we will. Start off with Semi. Semi is out there making some plays per reports. Big catches seems like every practice. You see Semi using his height and his athleticism. I thought Semi was taller. I did a show a few weeks ago or a month ago and talked about TJ and Semi being twin towers. Semi's not as tall as I thought. He's still 6'3". That's tall. But I thought he was like 6'5". And he's using that athleticism down the field with the second and third team. So Semi showed up making plays. We talked about Vasher, right? We've seen Vasher make, flash and make highlight plays, but I think he's still working on the nuance of his game. I think the route running would be his drawback right now, Cowboys Nation. The route running right now is not the greatest. So he's pretty much likely going to be a red zone option, deep ball option, jump ball guy. Even as a simple slant, it still is a little jumbly. So he's young. It is what it is. He's a guy that has to continue to work through it. But I don't think he's a guy you're ready to depend on as an every down receiver. Hence why I called him a non-primary weapon, but a specialty player. But the wide receiver that continues to get strong, that continues to have strong showings since OTAs, and now here in camp, is the undrafted free agent Dennis Houston out of, I believe, Western Illinois. Houston, this is the part that shocked me, and I was kind of like, what does this mean here? Houston was getting wide receiver 2 reps over Jalen Tolbert. It's not to say Jalen Tolbert's been bad, but he's earned those wide receiver 2 reps, and I emphasize earned because Mike McCarthy, he told us that there is something to earning those reps. Now, Lamb described Dennis Houston as a smooth player, and when you see the highlights, you can see that. I'd argue he's got a better. Well, all these dudes got a shot to make the roster. There's just nothing there after Lamb and Tolbert. But I'd argue he has a greater shot than TJ Vasher to make the team because he can do a little bit more things. And my guy Pat Walker talked to Dennis after practice about his mindset as he battles in training camp at a dire position of need for the Cowboys. This is what Dennis had to say. You got to have a dog mentality. I take that approach every day. Got to be aggressive. He's also, quote unquote, looking forward to playing special teams in Dallas. That bottom part is important. Not only has Dennis Houston showed up down at camp, he showed up at 3 different positions. Somebody asked Pat Walker on there, hey, has he played XYZ, right? Has he played across the line per se? And he said, yeah, he's lined up everywhere. TJ's not going to line up as a slide. I give TJ Vasher credit. He's trying to do some special teams things. I don't know if he's going to be a special teams guy, though, whereas Dennis can be a special teams guy. I'm not saying TJ can't pick it up, but again, 6'6" in the long stride, it's hard for me to envision TJ Vasher as a gunner. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to envision that. So unless Vasher picks up his route running, picks up a little bit more nuance of the game, and shows some versatility, I'd argue Dennis has a higher chance to make this team. And right now he's earning wide receiver 2 reps. So, I mean, what does that tell you? All right, what does that tell you? Now, Dak Prescott sat down with 105.3 The Fan, and they asked him about, conversations with Dennis Houston, and he took that opportunity to talk about communication like we talked about earlier in the show and kind of closing that inexperience gap. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. This will be our first word of today where, Dak discusses very briefly about the importance of the communication.
You had a conversation with Dennis Houston during practice there, and we were talking about the young receivers coming in here, and maybe you haven't gotten to work with some of them and building that relationship. Can you take us behind the scenes a little bit? What are those conversations like during practice as you try and build that rapport and that relationship?
Shoot, we're having continuous conversations all day long. I can't even refer to necessarily the conversation you're meaning at practice, because it's happening multiple times at practice, whether it be individuals, whether it be a team period, or whether it be in the meeting. So that's just what you have to do when you've got young guys, just to make sure that you're closing in on that gap and just the chemistry and just us being comfortable and being on the same page. And as much time as we have together, we're going to continue to talk and communicate and make sure that we're understanding each other.
I can't emphasize enough when Dak talks about importance of communication and communication and talking and making sure we're understanding each other and closing that gap. Like I said at the top of the show, it's one. We all want these young guys to develop. We all want these young guys to continue to improve. We all want these young guys to look great in camp, but when the lights come on and you need a third down pickup or you need a drive, we need to make sure that we have trust in these young guys to be where they need to be. And it's not even just about being young either. Even veterans take some time sometimes to have that chemistry and that communication. Like I said earlier, CeeDee Lamb was in year 2 with the Cowboys. And how many times we were like, dang, that looked like those guys weren't on the same page. Amari Cooper played with Dak for 4 years. It was times last year. It was like, man, it looked like those guys weren't on the same page. When we talk about veteran receivers, those are the small things that most of us that are looking or were looking to get veteran guys in here are talking about. Doesn't mean they're going to be saviors. They're not going to elevate this offense to another level, but you got to have some confidence in reliability. I say this all the time to y'all because it ain't me. I'm echoing what I hear from former players and current players. They all speak on the importance of veterans in their said room, all of them. And while I get that they want to see the young guys. I get all that. You do. You want to see what these guys got. But when it's time, when it's nut crunching time, right? When it's time to nut up, and you got to look to your left or your right or in that room to talk to somebody that's been in these situations, there's nobody there. And that's no knock on CeeDee Lamb. Love CeeDee Lamb. Even CD talked about in OTAs how he has to continue to learn to be that guy now since Amari Cooper is no longer here. So early on, if this is what we roll with, like I said yesterday, I think Kellen Moore is going to have to do a complete 180 the first month of the season until Gallup gets back, and then maybe even more until Gallup gets his feet wet. So don't overlook Dak Prescott talking about the communication, not issues, but the communication importance and the level of it in that 105 through the fan. It was a really good interview, by the way. So go check that thing out. Party with the Stars. He says, damn, so we go from the number 1 scoring offense last season to what? 64 total TDs, and Cooper accounted for 8. I'm not sure you got to be a bit, I'm not sure if you're being sarcastic or if it's a real concern. Brando, we're not taking Schultz into account. We should be able to manage till Gallup gets back. You're right. Somebody came on my comments yesterday. I'm not talking about tight ends. I'm not talking about running backs. I'm talking about the wide receiver room. Strictly talking about the wide receiver room. Now, in totality with the offense, like I said yesterday, you still have Schultz, you still have TP, you still have Zeke, you still have Lamb. That should be the focus of your offense. I can't with confidence say that was the focus over the full season last year because your coach came out and said, no, it's not about getting certain guys the ball. It's about taking what the defense gives us. Well, if the defense is going to give you Noah Brown and Dennis Houston and Simi Fehoko all game, if you're a defensive coordinator, remove your Cowboys fandom, wouldn't you go into that game like, yes, please? Oh, yeah. And I'm going to say Dalton Schultz, so please. Dump that thing to Dalton. Here, Simi. Here, Noah. So I truly believe this is going to fall more on the game plan than anything. I don't know how people can hate him, S2B. T-Mac said he's not sold on Vasher. I think he's still learning. He's still learning the nuances of the game, but there's a specialty trait to him. If he's going to make this team, then you have to use him. You cannot sit him down. What's the point? To have a 6'6" guy like that can get busy in the red zone if he's not going to play. Put somebody else on there. All right, let's get back to the horn. We got, again, I always get confused. Is this Jose or is it Joey?
It's Joey, brother. Can you hear me better?
I can hear you. I can hear you much better today.
Yeah, I'm at home today. I stayed a little bit early. A little bit late before I go to work. Just I wanted to say my point from yesterday.
Okay.
First, shout out Bomb Squad. You already know that. And to you too, Will, of course. Without you, we won't be here.
No, without y'all, I wouldn't be here. Come on, man.
True. You got a point. But, man, I'm hurt, brother. I feel like the Cowboys, we're probably in the worst position probably since when? How many years back? Because, man, I don't know.
I was thinking about this, and I didn't go do super extensive research, but I did a little bit of research. And correct me if I'm wrong. As we stand right now, I think this might be one of, if not the most inexperienced group in the Dak / Romo era. And again, that might be a little bit hyperbole. It might be like the second most or third most, but I can't think of a group that has had only one guy with more than 40 career receptions on the team in camp at the moment. I can't think of it. I'm trying to think, and I can't. So, just that thought alone, you would think there'd be a little bit of urgency, because there's nothing wrong with having young guys to develop, and hopefully in year 2 they step up, year 3, whatever, right? Have them as depth. But I think you're going to need some veterans to rely on at some damn point, right?
Yeah, because I'm confident in our defense. I got a little bit less hopium on them, but on our offense, even Cap Girl and Jerry, I think they got a lot of hopium.
Oh, but that's part of their sell. They're selling hopium to us every year. It doesn't matter. I think what's happening though is
that's their moneymaker.
Yeah, but the crowd is shifting a little bit. It went from a lot of people buying it to, I think a lot of people are seeing through it, to, hey man, it is what it is. I'm hoping for the best, but I'm not buying into your bullshit. So,
yeah,
they're losing that currency.
Yeah, but right now, as you were saying earlier, our only ones is going to be Schultz, it's going to be Pollard, it's going to be Zeke and Lamb. And Lamb, I've been watching him since before when he was in college, and man, he's my boy. I hope him the best, and I hope he shines this year. Probably the best. Than all the other receivers. That's a lot of hope, but I'm pretty sure he can do it, man. But yeah, man, I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck's gonna happen. I don't know if Cap Girl's gonna get someone or what, because you already know Cap Girl. He's cheaper than shit. He probably he'll probably go look at the flea market, and no offense to Ryan Nall, but he probably gonna go pick up another Ryan Nall, and you'd be like, hey, this guy's the best.
100% he's gonna get somebody. All these guys should be cheap though, so. I still think I know what they said. I still think they're going to sign a veteran guy. There ain't no way you roll into the season with 5 receivers and none of them have 5 other receivers and none of them have more than 40 catches, and only one other player on that roster has a reception outside of CeeDee Lamb in the wide receiver room. You're not doing that. I don't believe it.
Yeah, but he's gonna wait till the last minute. You know that. Damn well he's gonna wait till the last minute. He's gonna check out what he got, everything like that, see how everything's going. And if he didn't like it, boom, they're gonna pull the trigger somewhere else.
Hey, Joey, appreciate you calling in, man.
No, yeah, absolutely. Will, I like making it short. I like hearing everybody else, but I just wanted to put my 2 cents from yesterday, and I wanted to actually let you hear me compared to yesterday when I was at my job site.
It was rough yesterday, man.
Yeah, I was putting screws, and it was windy. I was in the middle of the bay. So, yeah, I understand. why you cut me off for so soon.
Yeah, man, it was rough to hear, brother. It was rough.
Yeah, but hey, Will, I hope you have a good one, brother.
Thank you, man.
Hey, and at Oxnard, I was gonna suggest they sell those little fans, man, with the spray bottle mist fans. You know, they sell them like at Dollar Trees and like Dollar Generals and all that kind of stuff. You know, take some of those, and they have some of those. I forgot what they're called. They're like little chamois. They're for your neck. You soak them, you put them on your neck, and it keeps you fresh.
Well, I don't think I'm gonna have to worry about the heat too much down there. It's 71, 72 with a nice little breeze, so we should be good.
True, it ain't Texas.
Yeah, it ain't Texas. All right, brother.
Yeah, I'm over here. All right, brother. I'll let you go. Yeah, I'm good, brother.
Yeah, I ain't too much worried about the weather down there. So Party gave me some details on what he means, and I think I might have lost it. Shout out to Smoke14 for the donation.
Super chat.
Can't wait to see my cousin Ty Freifogel playing for my favorite team, Go Cowboys. Salute to your cuz, Ty Freifogel. Haven't heard too much about him in camp yet, but that doesn't mean he's not doing some things because there's other players. There's so many players. Not everybody is covering every one of them personally, but I'm going to keep my eye out on Ty Freifogel. Okay, so Party with the Stars. What he was saying was people are panicking, which I don't think people are panicking. We already were questioning the receiver room in general. You just lost one of your top 3 or 4 receivers, so it's rightfully so. People are like, okay, what are we going to do? Hyperbole in this nation, though. We had the number 1 scoring offense in the league. The 8 touchdowns Cooper gave us, I feel like Pollard and Tober can account for. Respectfully, that's lazy. Respectfully, Party with the Stars. I don't know how new you are to this channel. You know context matters. Aren't we past? We had the number 1. Aren't we past that? Like, shouldn't we be past that? I thought we detailed these things as best as possible. You had the number 1 offense against inferior teams. Your offense averaged 18 points per game. 18 points per game in 6 of the games from week. What was that Denver game? From the Denver game on. In 6 of those games, averaged 315 yards per game. Right? Know what you're going to tell me? Well, they were without Amari Cooper for a couple games. They were without CeeDee Lamb for a couple games. And they're going to be without Michael Gallup and James Washington for a couple games. So I don't give a damn about the number 1 offense. Just make sure you show up against those better teams. Make sure you show up in the playoff games. And then he said they had 64 touchdowns and only 8 of them came from Cooper. They can replace that. Again, context. Cooper's, I say this all the time about Cooper. It's not always what Cooper does when he has the ball. It's what Cooper does when he doesn't that made him a very integral part of this offense. Teams pay attention to Amari Cooper often. Teams are putting their number 1 guy on Amari Cooper often so that others can eat. So I'm not trying to go back to this Amari Cooper situation. I just wanted to bring some context to number 1 offense, 8 touchdowns. That's easy. Yeah, sure. Where was the number 1 offense against the Chiefs, against the Niners, against the Saints, against Washington on the road, against New York on the road, against Denver, right? Where was the number 1 offense then? Injury, Sky. Yeah. What do you think is happening right now? So just context is all I'm saying. Let's get to Danny Macho Man Randy Savage. What's good, Danny?
Good morning, Sky. As Scott Hall would say,
yeah.
Every time Gilbert said, "Who's next?" Scott Hall would say, "I am." And what? Gilbert sucked in the ring. Gilbert sucked on the mic. That's just my opinion of him.
Gilbert was a comedy relief.
It was a joke. It was Goldberg was
he hated
horrible.
it. Goldberg hated that, by the way.
but it's the truth. To this day, the man's horrible on the mic. Hand needs to be crowned royals and put a mic in front of my hand. Listen, I'm more talented right now at 8 a.m. than Goldberg ever was in the ring with a mic. Forget about it. He was horrible on the mic, and he had a spear. That's it. And he ruined Bret Hart's career. Let's not even talk about Goldberg anymore. We're going to talk football. The Evil Emperor and the Dwarf are not going to sign nobody. There's 31 teams in the NFL. They're all having injuries, too. They're signing people, but we're not. This is a joke. It's a tank year. Sunday night, 8:20, week 1. Our starting wide receivers are probably going to be CeeDee Lamb, T.D. Vasher. Those are probably going to be.
Nah, it's not going to be that. I think if I had to guess right now, and this is with me not really fully putting Dennis Houston as a starter, but if I had to guess, I think it'd be CeeDee Lamb, Noah Brown, Jalen Tolbert, Houston, Simi, Turpin.
That's scary. Now, Chase Young, pretty much a lead athlete, he hurt his knee at the beginning of the year. He already said, don't plan on seeing me first couple of games.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, we got the Evil Emperor telling everybody, oh, Tolbert's coming. I mean, Michael Gallup's coming back. He's coming back. Keep drinking the Kool-Aid, people. You ain't going to see Gallup for 8 weeks. You're not going to see him. You're not going to see him.
I don't think it's going to be. I hope like hell it's not 8 weeks. My goodness. Not with the way this room is looking. I am worried about the first month because he shut that shit right down when he said, "Oh, would you be ready for week 1?" He was like, "What? That is unreasonable. That's not happening." So if it's unreasonable, it ain't happening week 1. It probably is not happening week 2. I'm hoping by week 3, 4, but that might be optimistic.
Scott, let me ask you a question. When a guy misses half a year with a strained calf, Dak missed what? 1 game? One game?
Yeah, Dak missed 1 game. Different positions, right?
Yes. Okay. I just want to make a few other comments.
Sure.
Cole called up before, talked about when, we could talk about this when Tyron goes down, he wanted to do like 38 changes. Now, we already lost our supposed swing tackle for the year, Walesko. We're going to see him in 2023. He has a bad shoulder. He has what's called a subluxing shoulder. I had a subluxing shoulder in high school. What happens is your shoulder pops out and it goes right back in. Extremely, extremely painful. My sophomore year probably happened 20 times. My junior year probably happened a good 15 times. Then my father took me to the orthopedic for the New York Giants. He diagnosed me with my shoulder problem. Switched my training program around, and then my senior year, my shoulder only popped out on me once. You got to strengthen the rotator cuff. Now, this is going back 30 years. Now, they'll probably just do a surgery. You'll see let's go next year. Now, when Tyron goes down, if Ball is not the answer, if he isn't, Steele was atrocious at left tackle.
Early.
Why not just make a simple adjustment? When Tyron goes down, put McGovern at right guard. Just let me finish with this one. Put McGovern at right guard.
Just heard this.
And throw our future Hall of Famer, Zach, who played left tackle at Notre Dame, just throw him at left tackle. Because in my eyes, if Hall of Famer Larry Allen can play all-pro left tackle, left guard, right tackle, why can't we make one simple switch?
It ain't simple.
With our best linemen. Zach's our best.
Why not just go get a swing
lineman
tackle? Yeah, of course he is.
Because they're not going to. They're not going
Danny,
to.
you're speaking out both sides of your mouth, Danny. They're not going to move Zach Martin to left tackle. So,
but why not? But why not?
Well, why aren't they going to go get? Why aren't they going to get a swing tackle?
Because they're cheap. It's a joke.
Okay, so why aren't they going to move Zach Martin to the left tackle? He don't want to play tackle number one, and it's a break glass in case of emergency. You can't talk about they're not going to do something on one way when we know they're not going to move him the other way, Danny. They're not going to move him.
Would someone have told? I'm going to start with Jimmy. Would someone have told Jimmy, no, I ain't playing that position? Would someone have told Bill Parcells, who I don't even like, no,
Danny, the simple move is to go get a swing tackle, not move your all-pro right guard to a position he ain't played in 9 years.
Okay,
that's a break glass in case of emergency.
They're not going to get a swing
and they're not going to move him.
Okay, so what is the answer then?
It's to get a swing tackle. That's a simple answer.
Just wait a second. You agree? If you were in charge of Dallas Cowboys, and Zach Martin came into your office
time
and said, I don't want to play. Break glass right now. We need to protect our $160 million quarterback. And he says, I don't want to play left. We don't have a swing.
Go get one. That's the answer. If Josh Ball doesn't look right, go get a swing. Or move still over the left tackle. But I'm not moving Zach Martin unless it's a break glass in case of emergency. Losing Tyron Smith ain't the break glass in case of emergency.
You would feel more comfortable with Steele at left tackle than Zach?
I would feel more comfortable moving a guy who's played there and showed improvement there than moving Zach Martin all over the goddamn line because you're nervous about a guy that played there and played well last year towards the end of the season. I know he wasn't great early on, but he got it together and he was fine. Listen, Danny, they're not moving Zach Martin. Terrence Steele. Terrence Steele played well at left tackle towards the end, man. He wasn't good early, but he played well towards the end, Danny. That's just facts, bro.
He was in Dak's lap towards the end.
No, all right.
Listen, if you look at Steele next to McGovern and Steele next to Connor,
this is a waste of time. It's not happening. At least the other callers said, "Hey, break glass case of emergency." Zach Martin, cool, yeah, we've seen that situation play out. We've seen that, but you trying to move Zach Martin just to move him for what?
No.
So now you're interior. Okay.
No, I said if Tyron goes down for a few games. That's what I said.
That's for nothing. That's for nothing. You get a swing tackle for that.
We're not gonna.
All right, Danny. What else you got for the show, Danny, bro? Because what we're gonna do is talk in circles. I don't agree with moving Zach Martin just because Tyron Smith goes down. I don't.
Well, we can agree as friends. We can agree to disagree. That's what friends do. I'm going to send you a link on something. I don't know if I can email it to you.
You can.
Or post it to your...
Not email it. Email it. You got my email.
Okay, I got emails. This is Jerry and Stefan when it comes to... It's a little clip from a movie. When it comes to signing free agents. And then I'm an old man. I don't have Twitter. And then you can put it on Twitter. This is it's you're gonna laugh. It's from an old movie. You're gonna laugh. And this is Jerry and Stefan trying to sign a free agent. It's just very, very disappointing. And this is just my opinion. And this is more of a Stefan move with the wide receiver thing. They're setting Dak up for failure for not a 2-year contract. Because what are they going to turn around and say?
I hear you, brother.
Aaron Rodgers.
I'll take a listen.
Aaron Rodgers got nobody.
I hear you, man. I'll take a look at it, man. Send me the email, Danny.
You got it, Scott.
Appreciate you, big dog.
You got it. Talk to you later.
Y'all like making me turn red, don't y'all? I don't enjoy that. But nonsense is nonsense. Living in a damn fantasy land is what we living in. Speaking of fantasy, let's talk about underdog fantasy. How many of y'all have signed up, man? I need y'all to go sign up that want to play in Skywalker's fantasy football league this year. And if you're one of those who, man, I don't feel like managing this team. I don't want to manage this team. Don't worry about it. We'll do a draft, and you don't got to manage the team for the rest of the season. They will accumulate all the statistics from your best players and use that to move forward throughout the season, whether you win or lose or what have you. So make sure y'all sign up with the code ATOZ on Underdog Fantasy Sports. And you can also enter the Best Ball Mania 3 contest with a chance to win up to $10 million in cash prizes. Same situation. Draft as many teams as you want. Don't got to touch them for the rest of the year. It's easy. The easiest way to play fantasy football, I think, out there right now. So, again, sign up with ATOZ Sports. If you do so, email me, skywalkerstill@gmail.com, so I know. But we're going to pick 10 different fans that want to play fantasy football with us, and we'll do a live draft show. So, hey, 6 to midnight. It's cool if you're broke. It's cool because we are paying for you to join the league. Don't got to cough up no money. Now, on on Underdog Fantasy, they do match anything you put down between $10 and $100. So if you put down $100, they will match it $100. If you put down $15, they will match it $15. But to enter our fantasy league, doesn't cost you nothing. All right. That is Underdog Fantasy. Download the app today or visit their website. How many draft picks? Say 12, but that might be 12 teams. Not 12 draft picks. I got to get those details for you. It's the same in every one. So if you actually go on there, it's the same in every single last league. It's a 2-quarterback league too. So they'll pick whichever quarterback you want. When I say 2 quarterbacks, I mean you can draft 2 quarterbacks, obviously. Superflex league. So I don't know how many exactly there are. I gotta go look. That's a good question. Make sure I have that for y'all next time. I want to know who Sky to replace Jerry. I love the name, but who are you? Who were you prior to you having Sky to replace Jerry? By the way, am I tripping? I always got to ask you. I want to make sure I ain't tripping. We want to move Zach out to the left tackle. Because if that's what y'all want to do, then maybe we'll discuss it. We'll dive into it. But that is so far from reality to me that it's a fantasy presented by Underdog Fantasy. All right, look. We got one more player to talk about here. And then we're going to finish this show on the phone. Let me lock these phones. Kevontae Turpin. Getting some looks, y'all. He's getting some looks. My guy Pat said, observation. Kevontae Turpin was very active in Cowboys offensive reps today and made the plays he was asked to make. He noted at signing that he wants to also be viewed as a viable wide receiver option. Coaches are testing that statement more and more post James Washington injury. Slot option? Question. Absolutely a slot option. I mean, the only other slot receiver you have right now is CeeDee Lamb. And from what I'm hearing down there is that CD's been more in the slot than anything. We'll see what those numbers actually are. I'm not looking forward to CD being 80-20 guy slot to outside boundary because, again, I think he can do some things downfield. I want to see him utilized downfield. I would love for Turpin to kind of turn up and be that slot option if they're not going to go get one. One of the callers yesterday said, hey, Simi Fehoko could be a big slot. I called him Sweet Feet Simi coming out of college. Sure, he's not going to give you the the dynamo type of slot weapon where he's just routing you up, but he could be a big slot, a big target. So, I think right now they don't have a true slot wide receiver unless it's Turpin, and they're giving him every opportunity to show that he can do some wide receiver things. We joke and laugh about him being small, and he is, 155. He took a hit yesterday, and I mean, he got up, he kept it moving. It's a little dude though. It's a little dude, but at this point, this is what we got. Until they bring somebody else in, we gotta hope that a Turpin, in my opinion, can turn into a guy. Am I tripping? All right, I ain't tripping. Let's get back to the horns. We got Twan on the horn. What's good, Twan?
What's going on, Sky?
I'm good, good brother. How you?
Man, chilling.
You ain't finna raise my blood pressure, are you?
No, man. You ain't tripping, man. Why would you want to move an all-pro, a legend from right guard, to move to a whole nother spot and lose his talent at his position? That spot he was playing at. That don't make no sense. Just go sign left tackle.
Exactly.
And run. That's too much moving parts. That's the same thing we did beginning of last year. Moving players around. They're not getting no continuity. And now in the middle of the season, now we trying to – it's not going to make no sense, but we're doing the same thing we were trying to do last year.
I agree. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, man. But what's up? What you got for the show?
But the Turpin dude, man, hey, I like him. I like what CD said about him yesterday in a little interview he had with him. But he said he played against him in college. He said the dude is dangerous, man. So I'm not worried about his size too much. I mean, he played college football at that size, so I'm not going to be too worried about him playing in the NFL at that size.
I want to have that optimism. I don't know how many 155-pound wide receivers have been, counted on in the league. So I don't. If I had proof that that's happened time and time again, yeah. But it's one of those things, Twan. I got to see it, man. And I respect him. Saying I've been this size my whole life. I respect him having played in the USFL at that size. I respect him playing in college. The league's a different animal. It's just a different animal.
Sure.
So I want to see him take some hits that aren't going to injure him, obviously. That way it'll build my confidence that little man can get knocked down and get back up. That's all. I just want to see him get hit a little bit in the preseason.
Yeah, bet. Yeah, man, don't raise your blood pressure, man. You doing a good job, man.
Oh man, listen, I have fun with it, but it just again, I let the nonsense go for a little bit, but I got pushed back. Y'all know how I pushed back with you for years. You know what I'm saying? So I push back. Yeah.
It's all love, bro. It's all love.
That's all you got for the show, bro?
Yeah, bro.
All right, man. Let me get to the next call. Appreciate you, Twan. Let's get to Nacho. What's up, Nacho? How you doing?
Sky, how we doing, Sky?
We good, man. We good.
How's the vibe? How's the vibe at Oxnard? If somebody asks you point blank, how's the vibe? How's the pulse out there?
I'm not there yet until Friday.
Oh shoot! I thought you were there. I'm sorry.
No, it's cool.
I thought you were already there. So I got a couple of my buddies up there. So they're saying they kind of like the vibe. It's a good vibe. It's a good, just a good feeling at being at camp, and it looks like it's really good access to see the action and everything. So, so what I got for you today is, I think we're just gonna continue to roll with that type of mindset, in terms of, we're gonna allow these younger players, like the Bashers and Houston and Turpin, and just kind of, have them have that opportunity. The fact that we lost Washington here, and at the end of the day, I see that. I can understand why they want to do that and allow these younger players to see if they could be developmental players that have ability. At the same time, I'm with you on the fact that, hey, listen, once the NFL season rolls around, that's a different animal. A veteran player, whether that be a linebacker, that be a wide receiver, or an O-line, sometimes you can't replace that. You can't replace that championship mentality and experience. And we're gonna play with that. If that's what we're gonna do, that means we're going to go 50-50 coin toss for this season unless we make some decisions between now and game one.
That's one thing I always found real interesting about the way they approach bringing in players. Like, championship pedigree matters. It 100% matters. You have a roster full of guys that don't know how to win in the playoffs. You have a roster full of guys that never been in major big games on a consistent basis that you can't turn to. Now, Dallas has been in 4 playoff games, having advanced past the divisional round. And let's be honest, that's pretty much been the way for the last 30 years almost. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with bringing in guys with championship pedigree at the very least, to pass along some tidbits, right? Some, I won't say inside information, but just little things. I brought it up before. Ed Reed talked about the little things that helped them win a championship in 2011. It was 2011, 2012. 2012. Yeah. So, I always thought that was weird. Like, why not bring in guys with that pedigree?
Absolutely. I mean, I think I was hearing Fritz the King, I think yesterday, and I listened to him as well. I mean, you guys were outstanding. He was kind of like, hey, you know what? No need to panic. Hey, we lost Washington. We got these younger players. If we would have brought in a veteran quarterback, we wouldn't have seen what a Dak Prescott could have done type of thing. And I kind of went, okay.
That's so extreme.
I mean, I can see his point.
That's so extreme.
But that's a little, but see, yeah, and I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of like,
and that's why we need.
I don't know. I mean,
and that's why we need to win because we always, but Dak, right? He can't, and we lost in the playoffs. That's no knock on Dak Prescott. I'm just saying we lost in the playoffs. Great season and everything, but every situation is not the same. This receiving room and this team is not the 2016 team. We got to stop doing that. Oh, but that kills me when we go reach back. Well, 10 years ago what are we doing?
Yeah. And I get it. Everybody has an opinion, right or wrong, and all that. And I can see where maybe not only Fritz the King, it could be anyone. You have optimism. I'm a very optimistic person myself. But at the same time, the bottom line is,
the conference has been unlocked.
See some people trying to call it. I'll let y'all come in.
Yeah, that are investing in these players that are going to be getting them, over the top. That can be those key players. So, we're going to roll with it. We're going to see where we go, and all that. But I am hoping that they're going to use some of that money that they do have available to them between now and the beginning, and hoping that we do bring in a veteran player, an ex-Pro Bowler that can come in and help us out.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll let you go, my man. Thank you, and have a blessed day.
Appreciate you, man. All right, I got to lock up the lines. I let one more person in because I saw somebody was trying to come in, but we gotta play a little bit of now we ain't gonna play clock game, but I'm gonna be monitoring things. So let's get to 561. What's up, 561? Jake the Great on the horn. What's good, Jake?
Not much, man. I'm over here coming in defense of my boy Ezekiel Elliott, man. I don't like the disrespect I'm hearing. And one thing I want to say about Zeke, if contrary to what people believe, Ezekiel Elliott is on a Hall of Fame path. If y'all don't know, all you got to do is check the numbers. Now, he's at 7,000 something. Around this time, Emmitt Smith, the best running back in the league, had 8,000 something. Now, you got to take away that Zeke was suspended 6 games in 2017, and he was banged up a little bit. But he is on a Hall of Fame trajectory. And I don't really like how people just throw out there, TP is better than Zeke. No, let's stop that right now. Tony Pollard is faster than Ezekiel Elliott. And that's what people are caught up in. I've never seen Tony Pollard get 20 carries for 14-game seasons, 17-game seasons, and keep on trucking. I think what it is because we haven't won so much,
And as a Cowboys fan, we turn into hyenas and we start eating our own. Tony Pollard is a gadget guy. He's
No,
a
he's
guy
not.
that
I got to
moves
stop
all
you
around
right
the
now.
field.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. We got that. See, I
All
was
right.
letting you go because I'm with you. I mean, it's a bit disrespectful for Ezekiel Elliott, but I think that's disrespecting TP. He's not a gadget guy, right? Like
when I say gadget, I don't mean like he's just a one-trick pony. I mean he's such a great athlete. For example, before he ran that kickoff against the Raiders, I used to call Law show and I said, Law, we need to give TP the Cordell Patterson treatment. I don't care how deep it is in the end zone.
Hey,
let him run it out. The man ran back in college. Just what he does. But I heard you said you don't even want him running kickoff returns. And I just think, as Cowboy fans, if we have that mindset, we're going to take him away from the things that he does best. I don't believe he needs even 12 carries. Give him 6 carries, 7 carries, give him 7 catches and let him do his special teams, and we'll see a lot better TP. But I believe we'll wear him down if we give him 20, 25 carries like Zeke. And the only reason Zeke slowed down, he had too much peanut butter in the past. When he first got to the league, they gave him that off-season peanut butter, blew him up. Slowed him down. He had to lose that peanut butter to get back his speed.
Go ahead, keep talking, bro.
Hello? No, well, that was it. That's all I have to get out there. I want to hear your rebuttal on that.
I think that you said we should stop the slander to Zeke. We should stop pitting these players against each other. That's what I don't like. I think you need both of them.
I hate that.
I think you need Zeke and Tony Pollard this year to have success for this league. In this league.
You do. But TP should not be getting more carries than Zeke. Zeke is the tone setter. You need that running back. You need that Ahmad Bradshaw, Brandon Jacobs type of dynamic, and Zeke is gonna give you that dynamic.
Yeah.
TP once the line gets beaten up, he can hit his head on the goalpost. But we can't devalue Zeke, man. Zeke is that man.
Indeed.
That's all I got to say.
All right, brother. Let me get to the next caller, man. We're trying to get through these. Appreciate you. 215. What it is? What it do?
How you doing, young fella? This is Glenn from Philly. Talked to you a couple of times last season. I'm an old head, 56 years old.
What's good,
Just
Glenn
want to
from
say
Philly?
once again, I like what you guys are doing, all you young brothers. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
First and foremost, I said the same thing. The reason why we don't see championship caliber free agents come here because Jerry doesn't want anyone to come here and buck the system. He doesn't want anyone to come here with a pedigree to come in his locker room, come on his practice field, and say, "This BS. This is not how it goes." Jerry wants people that he drafts. He can instantly give them the IV of the Kool-Aid, do all the flashy glitz and glamours. He'll bring a couple of free agents here that really don't have a pedigree, give them the Kool-Aid, and that's how Jerry runs his organization. We're back to ground zero every year with Jerry. He says the same thing. I'll do anything to win. No, you won't.
I would. Yeah.
Million.
I wish he would stop saying that because it's just not true. We can see. I see you. I see what's happening. That's not the truth. It's cool. Just say what it is, right? And hope for the best.
Exactly. It's like, stop saying that. You're 20 mil under the cap. The other day he said, "Oh yeah, you guys have to realize what Zeke does in the backfield." I love Zeke. I'm a running back. Tony Dorsett, Calvin Hill. Zeke is my man. Tony Pollard has to get more touches. Anyone can see that. Any coordinator can do that. But once again, Jerry is going to put the ball in the hands of the guys that sells the jersey. It's bottom line. So we're getting high blood pressure. We're pulling our hair out. I'm already bald. I'm pulling my skin out, my scalp out. Jerry is going to get the ball. And when I say Jerry, because he's running things, it's been proven. You brought Jason Witten back and you stunted the growth of Jarwin and Schultz. Fine, bring Jason Witten back, but don't start him that year. That was just ludicrous. That's crazy.
Yeah. There's
Why?
truth to that.
Because he's his son and he sells jerseys. That's what Jerry does. We are not going to win. I hate to say it. We're not going to win until Jerry's gone. I cannot see us winning while Jerry is still there, because this is how Jerry runs his ship. It's sickening. It's disgusting.
Yeah, we're going to have to overcome the front. I've say it all the time. That's just how I approach it now, because I'll be saying the same thing every day. You know what I mean? So for like the last, I don't know how many years, I just been kind of, all right, they going to do what they're going to do. I don't agree with it. The league doesn't agree with it. It clearly doesn't work, but I'm just hoping that the coaches and then the players can overcome them. So that's just the mindset that I'm rolling with it. But it is true that Jerry, I asked a former coach, he has come in meetings and said, well, what's going on? Let's get this guy the ball. We've heard Dez, we've heard Cooper come out, we've heard Beasley come out and say, yeah, some of these decisions, well, at least Beasley said it, these decisions are made up above. So, I mean, that's just the truth.
Exactly. He has an open door policy. Walk right past the coach, go up there, cry to Jerry. I mean, no organization is ran this way. I've never seen. I'm 56. I've never seen an organization where you bypass the coach. And you go up to the owner.
I don't want to say this ain't me reporting this. I don't want to say that Zeke is complaining. I don't think Zeke is complaining. I think Zeke is a professional. Zeke is a good teammate. I don't think Zeke is going to nobody's office and saying, "Hey, get me the ball." Right?
Oh, no. I'm not talking about Zeke. I didn't even hear the reports about that.
Okay.
I'm just talking about the history of how he runs things.
Okay, gotcha.
So I didn't even hear. There's word out there that Zeke is complaining?
No, I thought that's what you were saying. I thought you were saying that he's going past the coaches and going straight to Jerry, like, get me the rock. I just wanted to put that out there.
No, I'm just saying throughout the years how they just bypassed Chan Galley, bypassed whoever was there because they didn't respect them and just went up to Jerry's office. Sure. And I think that's what Jason Witten did and some of the other people. And it was so ironic. I'm going to let you go, but it was so – I hate to rehash, but I didn't get a chance to talk to you. I just want to hear your thoughts of how ironic it was that Jason Witten stayed on this team until they released Dez. Then he retires. It was one of those things where I am going to stick around here as long as I can to be a thorn in your side, to be the little snitch and run up to the office, and I'm going to do this as long as you're here. As soon as they let Dez go, he retires that year. Then he comes back the following year when he sees us progressing, and then he, once again, he takes the starting position of our up-and-coming tight ends. So I just want to know I don't want to rehash and go back too far, but I just want to know your thoughts on that.
I mean, it was ridiculous to bring him back. He stunted the growth of Dalton Schultz and Blake Jarwin. That's just facts.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right, brother. You stay you stay in the loop, and once again, I love what you young fellas are doing. I wish this was going on when I was coming up, but I'm over the hill. I can't come back to this stuff, but I'm glad that you guys are doing it, and I'm tuning in.
Man, I appreciate that support, y'all. I really do. I appreciate that.
The prayers to you. Stay safe.
Thank you. Yeah, it's the truth, Jerry. But again, we just gotta try to overcome that thing, man. We just gotta try to overcome that. All right, we got through the calls, and let me just reiterate this one more time because I see people in their feelings in the chat getting all acting like females, and no disrespect to the females in here, but it is what it is. I don't like when y'all come on here and get mad if I don't get to you on the phone. There are a lot of callers. If you're in there, hold tight if you want to. If we get towards the end of the show and I lock up the line and you left, that's on you. So I ain't going to call my man's name out in here, but if you got a problem, you got me on Twitter, we can go talk, right? We can figure this thing out. If not, it was cool having you in here. I ain't tripping because the Bomb Squad going to be here regardless.
Bomb Squad!
But what we not going to do is say certain things and think it's cool. So that's all I'm saying. If there's an issue, holler at me on Twitter. We can figure this thing out. With that said, we are through on the phones. I'll get to the chat. And then we're going to get up out of here. M. Price, be careful what you ask for. Catboy Steven is way worse than Jerry. Jerry wants to win. Catboy wants to make money. I hear that all the time. If it's the case, which I've said that Stephen Jones, I think, has told Pops to sit down. And he's taking over things. But if he really wanted to, I mean, it is his team at the end of the day. Demetra says that's why people don't want to come here and coach because of Old Yeller. I think coaches would want to come here. We just don't know. He kept Jason Garrett out here for 10 years. And then he really didn't interview other young up-and-coming coaches. He interviewed guys that were on the sidelines that just wanted to get a job. So I don't really know if coaches truly want to come to Dallas or not. I think they would. I mean, there's talent on this team. It's the Dallas Cowboys, right? At the end of the day, it's an audition at the very least. Perfect scenario, Zeke 20 carries to 15 touches. You got 2 good backs. Use them. That's how I see it. No, not the streets. I got the DMs. Just holler at me over there. 6 to midnight, my Mount Rushmore. I'll report back to you on that. This is a historic franchise. I don't want to make it seem like I'm just throwing stuff out there. You couldn't have possibly been on there, and you left, so you should have stayed there. But we're not gonna do that. I don't want to do that to y'all on here, man. If it's an issue and you don't want to call in, that's cool, my man. I'm not tripping at all. I try to get to everybody on there. Y'all know how I do. It's that simple, man. It's that simple. If you don't like how I go down, hey, send me your number. That way I know who you are, even though you could have just stayed in there. You know, I ain't tripping too much. But listen, y'all. It's my last show until Monday. I'll have a video dropping later today. There'll be a video dropping tomorrow. And then there will likely be something in the community on Friday. But Saturday, I will be at the mock game in Oxnard. So, again, hit the notification bell because we'll be posting some videos, probably shorts, honestly, throughout the day on Twitter, on Instagram, on azsportsdallas.com, on all those things. We will be keeping you updated on what I can see down there. And then we'll be reporting on Monday for an actual show. Both shows. I'll be on, obviously, my morning show, and then we'll have a show with Vosh Lombardi on the volume. So stay tuned to that. Vosh will describe all that later on in the day. So make sure you hit us up on A to Z Sports. On the volume channel, Vosh Lombardi Live. We'll be there. Jared Tyson, we signing Jordy Nelson or nah? You had to be here yesterday. We ain't even going to describe what that's about. You just had to be here yesterday. All right. Let's get on up out of here, man. I don't want to end on a sour note. I truly don't. But follow me on Twitter. I'll keep y'all posted on everything. Also, later tonight, Mauricio Rodriguez will be back on the channel for A to Z Sports Prime Time. He's going to give y'all the latest updates on day 7 at training camp, which is the mock game today. So it should be some good stuff. We out of here. Love y'all. Peace.
Bomb Squad!